Pipeline progression matters. As a great agent, you've got to start really thinking about what you're doing to progress not only the buyers, but also the sellers that are sitting inside of that database of yours. What we know is that when something's really important, you meet on it regularly. And what I'm trying to get you to consider is that what would happen if for 20 minutes each week, you actually just went through all the people that you think are potential sellers, all those people that are on that seller hit list, and start having that conversation with yourself about what are the next steps for them. What we've identified is that the majority of people that you're working through are working through maybe 10 different situations. Potentially it might be a job relocation, divorce, deceased estate, growing family. And when you have a look at all of these different situations, then you start thinking, okay, great, well, what's the next step for that particular person? And what might the barrier actually be to them going to where they want to go? See, most agents are kind of like, so are you ready to sell yet? But what they're not really thinking about is that what are the things specifically that's going to allow that person to make that decision to sell? Maybe, for example, they need to find a house to buy. So that's all about the buyer work and going and showing them good property in and around the next price range. Maybe, for example, it's actually about arranging some time for them to go down to a nursing home or to an assisted care village, really talking that through and seeing if that's really the right move for them right now. And having that conversation about when it actually is the good time to do that, given the risk issues in their existing home with the stairs and so forth at that different stage of life. Maybe it's about actually having the conversation to see whether or not they've got the job relocation, what the dates are around that, and how to really get that timeline worked out so people know exactly what they're doing and when. Now, with pipeline progression, the most important thing that you can do is just print off that list of all of your sellers and actually go through every single one of them and just ask those questions. What's the problem that they're actually trying to solve? What are they looking for inside of that next home? What is actually their next steps? And how can you as an agent help to progress them? And whether or not that's showing them another property, sending them a link to something, maybe even giving them a link to a particular article, which might give them the motivation to know that now is actually the time to sell and to actually make those moves happen. At the end of the day, humans are pretty interesting. They've already got all the information that they need. In fact, they've even got something like Google, which allows them to search all the information in the world. But yet, the most important thing are the conversations that you have with an agent, where the right questions actually get you to start thinking differently about you and your situation to make your timing really clear. As a great agent, you want to start to consider that what you are going to be doing is building this pipeline with other agents inside of your own personal team. And what are the agents inside of your own personal team doing with the people that they've got on their pipeline? The biggest issue for a lot of agents is that they've got a really significant pipeline sitting on that database, but you don't know the clients and they don't know you. So if they don't know you, then why would they use you? So what's really important here is to start to get really clear about how you develop that pipeline by spending some time on it. And what I've worked out, the more you meet on it, the more that you'll get progress. So start better quality conversations, decide who you're going to be calling, and start to really learn how to progress the client by working out what their challenge is and how you can help them as an agent. I really hope you've enjoyed this week's coaching tip, and I look forward to seeing you next week.